Before we start the show, I'm excited to announce that we have a new sponsor for this podcast, and it's DocRx. DocRx is a family-oriented company dedicated to tailor operational solutions for patient health and compliance programs that increases the quality and efficiency of patient-centered care, and always with the mission of the patient's health first. With over 10 years of experience helping doctors and their patients with diagnostic testing, patient monitoring, medical supplies, compliance, wholesale pharmacy, physician dispensing, billing, and much more. DocRx is your patient and health compliance solution, both under one roof. To find out how DocRx can help you, your hospital, pharmacy, or physician's office, see all their services at docrx.com. That's DOCRX.com. Now on to today's show.
Reinvention is so important. And if you're not listening to the market and you're not listening to your clients, what's the point? Give the people what they need, not what you were trying to force them to have. Look at your offering. Is it stale? Take a look at the things that are making you money and look at the things that are not making you money. And if they're not making you money, and if it's just something that, you feel in your heart you're supposed to continue to pursue, but nobody wants it, guess what? The most honest person about your business is going to be the market. The market will tell you exactly what it wants. I think putting your ear to the ground is the best way to make sure that your business is viable.
Hey, I'm Karen. I'm a former CPA, entrepreneur, business consultant with big ideas.
Welcome to Cheers to Business.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. I have a co-host today. Welcome back, Dr. Gia Wiggins.
I love being a co-host.
I know, right? Not a guest. You're not a guest anymore. You've been in my house too many times. Just go get what you need. You can have anything else.
That is awesome. I need a day bed.
That's right. All right. So we're doing the Get Back Up series. And guess what? I don't have a topic.
This is going to be fun.
That's a surprise. So the surprise is that we have been talking about communicating to your employees and getting back up and doing the why. So we, tossed around, now educating your customers. So I'm going to let you come up with the topic. And you get to ask me anything.
I get to ask you anything?
Anything.
Oh, my gosh. So I'll take all the questions that I was going to ask you, like when we got off the air and text you, like in the middle of the night when you text me back at 1:30 in the morning. And I could just all put it, together for right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you get back up?
I'm still getting back up. Had a conversation with the illustrious Dr. Todd Greer, the provost at the University of Mobile.
Cheers to Greer.
Oh, my goodness. Cheers to Greer. I love that man so very much. We were having this very invigorating debate about the term for a person who constantly innovates and brings to market ideas and offerings within their industry and within their own category. So I know, serial entrepreneur is someone who always, starts new businesses. But if it's in the same category and it's still kind of under the same umbrella, is that person actually a serial entrepreneur?
No.
Or are they something else? And I called it maybe a serial sub-entrepreneur where you stay within your category. And he talked about it, being innovation.
And what do you call me?
But see, you are me, and except you're like, at the, 20,000, level of what I do.
Okay.
But I think that that's really important for someone. For the listeners, one of the things you need to know is that I love me some Karen Simmons. And from the time that I met her, I told her I was in love with her and I wanted to be one of her kids. So Katie has to share her with me. So I'm her daughter. I'm her daughter. But one of the things that is so attractive to me about you.
No, man, this show wasn't about me.
Well, yeah.
But name my businesses. Name the different businesses that I co-own or own.
Okay, so I can't name all of them because I think that you possibly couldn't even name all of them because you have so many. You've had accounting firms, you have your consulting firm, you have Mastery, which is a training program, you have a machinist shop,
that's global.
Okay, you have a machinist shop, and then you have this podcast. You do consulting for businesses as they need financial help. You help to make healthy existing accounting firms and make them awesome. So what are the other 50 million businesses and Payroll Vault?
Payroll Vault's
you're
a
part.
franchise.
Yeah, you are part of the Payroll Vault organization.
Flexible benefits. It's
Flexible
an FSA
benefits.
administration.
Right.
Medco Logistics is the newest one, and
Okay.
it now has over 20 drivers. If you don't mind driving and you have a good record, please send me a picture of your driver's license. We're looking to hire more, and proof of insurance. That's me and my husband.
Okay.
Marine Exhaust Systems of Alabama is my brother. He
Okay.
runs that one.
That's one in Fairhope, right?
Yeah, been around 33 years.
Okay.
We've owned it 3.5. And we literally make manifolds and heat exchangers and repair and ship all over the world.
Okay.
We're probably only 40% marine, actually.
Okay.
And so love the teams in each one. Mm-hmm. I mean, people say, how do you do that? How do you keep up? I have good people.
Right.
Don't hire dumb people.
Right.
Hire people that get your why.
Right.
And so do you call that an entrepreneur? Everybody, that was a key word before COVID. I mean, it was just the trendy word to use.
Well, see, but that's my point. So you've got all of these businesses that you are an owner of. So what I'm thinking about is the skill set that you have, is that skill set in common between all of those businesses, with the exception of learning the specifics of how those businesses operate? What do all of those businesses get that are in common? All of those things have in common Karen. The superpower that you have to come in.
I don't think so.
You don't believe so?
I don't. I think the people that are in place that are doing these businesses, yes, I think outside the box. Yes, I have big and I can make stuff happen. But it's also, back when I was a CPA for 25 years, all businesses are about the same. Everybody thinks they're special.
Yeah.
Oh, my business is different. Honey bun, I'm sorry.
It is now. It won't be in a minute. Will we fix it?
Spitting your Cheerios in the morning, but you're basically all the same. It's the fundamentals of business. And I can do anything and I don't know how to do it. I've never run a payroll. That system's too complicated. I've tried welding. I tigged. It looked like crap. Those team that have been there 20 plus years, they are artists. I cannot do what they
artists,
do.
Right.
I can't do what Katie does. I can't do what my brother does. I can't do what my brother-in-law does. I hired a route coordinator, and I hired 2 full-time people just to keep up with Medco when I started a month and a half ago.
I think you're making my point, though.
Am I?
I think you are. Because the thing that all of them have in common is that you have the ability to go into an organization and see the gaps and the missing pieces.
It's patterns.
And then you bring in what needs to be brought in so that it can operate at optimal efficiency.
I ask dumbass questions.
But that's the point.
Why are you doing that?
But that's the point. So you did make my point.
All right, our sponsor, DocRx.
Okay.
All right, Brian Warden, he's been on the show. He owns DocRx Dispensing, DocRx Labs, WHAM, Workface, that's pharmaceutical, PBMs, and then he has Coast Diagnostics with some other owners. That's the COVID lab that we're fixing to be fully functional in October. So I'm his CFO. And they thought I was a miracle worker, and I'm like, because when I come in, I could just see the gaps.
Right.
Because I see patterns.
Right.
And I think in compartments. So what you're talking about is not the biggest thing in that compartment, I'm going to shove it back over here. I'll pick it back up later.
Right.
But that's not what's on fire right now.
Right.
And so you put things in compartments as you look at 3 different emails and text messages and pigeons flying over, dropping notes on your head. I don't see anything special to what I do.
You are a true consultant. You're a true consultant.
I just tell people where they suck.
I've
made grown men cry. That was funny. Well, I told him.
No comment.
I said, dude, you got to get a day job because you keep coming in here asking me the same questions, and you're mad because you get the same results because you won't listen.
Right.
You won't do it any other way but the way you keep trying to do it, and it ain't working.
So let me give you an example. Okay, so I'll use my company for for example. Okay, so I know one thing really well.
You know a lot of things. You have common sense. That's
well,
helpful.
okay. So I do human resources. That is my jam. Okay, I do it all the time.
You got the best jam in town.
It is the best jam. But so from the lens of human resources and from the lens of what I know about management theory and from what I know about running a business, because I run a good business.
Yeah.
Okay. I can go in to an organization and just like you said, look at patterns and look at common practices and look at procedures and talk to people and figure out if they know what they're supposed to be doing and are you operating efficiently, and hey, let me see these documents and let me see this and let me into the entirety of your organization and identify gaps. I can identify gaps in a medical practice. I can identify gaps in an accounting practice, whether it's a manufacturing facility. It does not matter. And the reason is because I'm a consultant. That's the way that I'm trained. That's the way that my mind works. And so
well, if I'm about to step in a pile of I don't care which animal ate it.
Right.
It's still a pile of shit.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
And if you got a business, you better get a different animal.
Somebody needs to come in and look and say, we need to figure out how to clean it up, and then we need to figure out where they need to go to the bathroom so it's not in the middle of the floor anymore.
We can call today's show, Shovel Your Get back up and we shovel.
Just get on up. But one of the things that I found to be very important as I am changing and, getting back up and, failing and then figuring out, oh, well, you know what, this, particular offering sucked. How do I know it sucked? Well, the market didn't want it. Nobody bought it. So I guess I better do something else, because that's been happening over the last, 6-7 years, trying to figure out what works and what does not work. What makes me believe that I'm a serial sub-entrepreneur is the fact that, let's say, for example, we go into an organization, because you and I do it all the time. We go into these businesses and we see something that needs to be done that we can do. We didn't even think about that it's something that we should offer and that we should put on our website or put in our brochure or something that should be an offering. But I have the skills, I have the qualifications, I have the passion to be able to do it. I know I can do it better than anybody else. And there's a gap in the market because I don't know of anybody else that actually does that thing.
There you go. That's the key.
Right.
If you find something that is needed, that is a win-win-win.
Absolutely.
Win for me, win for you, win for the ones around us, and you price it reasonably, you are in business.
You're
and
in
I
business.
don't care what widget you're selling.
Correct.
Or what policy you're trying to show.
Right.
It will work.
But that's the piece about the innovation and about the marketing and about reinventing yourself and doing things a little bit different and, shaking the dust off your shoes. Are you constantly growing? Just because I offered A, B, C, and D, back in March doesn't mean that that's the only thing I can offer now.
But people stay in that, they stay there.
I think it's fear, and I think it's, not having the confidence.
Some just don't even think about it.
Well, yeah. Everybody has their place in business.
How can I grow my business? How can I grow my business? How can I grow my business? Well, do it differently.
Yeah.
What do your customers want?
Oh, I don't ask the customers. I just think that it's something I should come up with.
Oh, my God.
Which I hear all the time.
I had a sister-in-law that wanted to go open up a restaurant because her hot dogs that had coleslaw on top were the best ever. And I went, oh, dear.
I had I'm not going to say where I had this person, just in case they're listening, I love you. But they wanted to open up an online clothing shop, and they were going to sell clothes online. And I said, okay, well, what brands are you going to sell? Oh, there are lots of different brands. Okay, well, are you going to sell them at a good price? Well, no, we're going to sell it at a premium price. Oh, okay. Well, how are you going to let people know about it? Oh, we're just going to post it on social media. I'm like, do you hate money? Because this is going to fail. And not because I don't want you to win.
I know 10 people that are doing the same thing right now, and nobody's making money.
Hundreds of people. But there's there's no differentiation. What are you doing that's special? What are you doing that's
really good? So I should be able to success.
So great. The people, maybe you can get your mama to buy it. But other than that, I think it's important when we're looking at marketing and then when we're looking at things that we're going to do differently, look at your offering. Is it stale? Take a look at the things that are making you money and look at the things that are not making you money. And if they're not making you money, and if it's just something that, you feel in your heart you're supposed to continue to pursue, but nobody wants it, guess what? The most honest person about your business is going to be the market. The market will tell you exactly what it wants. I had a product offering early on in Morale Resource that I thought was the most brilliant thing ever. I mean, rainbows, unicorns, and angels were singing when I was designing this product line. I thought it was going to be amazing. And it was right in line with what I was selling to businesses. I was just going to try to do a consumer version of it. Nobody wanted it. And then when people did buy it, they made it so complicated that I hated it. I grudged fulfill orders every single day. And I said, you know what? I could continue to put thousands of dollars in it. I could even hire somebody to come and manage it. Or I can go ahead and kill something that's already dead, and I can move on to something that I really
Speaking
enjoy.
of which, do you want my company flexible benefits?
Yes.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah. Look, we need to have a conversation.
Yeah, we really
about
do.
that. Yeah.
I don't want, but I want Cindy to keep working. That's all she's ever done for 25 years.
Yeah.
And yeah, it needs, yeah.
I'm surprised nobody's tried to purchase it yet and merge it with their existing.
No, people don't understand it enough. Put it this way: medical, some over the counter, braces, glasses, co-pays.
Yeah.
So you pay for them pre-tax. So no federal, no state. But it's not worth a business doing it unless they have participation.
Correct.
All right. So basically, you can pay $5,000 of your daycare tax-free. That's going to save you $382.50. I happen to know that off the top of my head. The employee's going to save that just in Social Security Medicare, but the employer's going to save it too because they don't have to match that Social Security Medicare. We've got probably 15 companies on it, 12, 15. Yeah. Bigger companies, but it needs to grow.
The problem, and you're right, the problem with anything regarding benefits is nobody understands it. It's like a completely different language. And they just want, most small businesses say, just give me what I need to have and explain me how it's supposed to work.
See, I don't know that SHRM HR world good enough to be able to go make it successful. Because I can market all day long, but there's only a window for it, which is now. And I don't want to do it. It's not fun to me.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason.
That's exactly it. Yeah. Yeah. You got to do what's fun.
You know, 3 more clients on there, it would break even.
Right.
And then it would become profitable if somebody gets some more on there.
Right.
And Cindy's got the capacity to do it. Cindy Sargent, I love her.
Yeah.
She's been with me 3.5 years now.
Yeah.
And so for these flexible benefits, for people to save so much money, they need to be educated and to get in those HR circles. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we can talk.
We can have a conversation.
I don't want this business anymore.
Yeah. So I've got to ask Karen a question for you.
Okay. Ask Aunt Karen. That's
Ask
a joke
Aunt
between
Karen.
Uncle Henry and Johnny Gwynn and me. So, yeah.
Okay. So my first Ask Aunt Karen question. How does a company know when they actually need a CFO? Now, before you answer that, I want to qualify that because one of the things that drives me crazy is inflated titles, where, you know, you may have like a receptionist and you're like, this is my CFO. It drives me absolutely insane. So, but I know what a CFO does. I know what you do. How does a company know in revenue, in the amount of employees, in the amount of accounts, all these things? How do they know that I don't need a controller? I don't need just an accountant. I need an actual functional CFO. How do you know?
That is such a great question because when your controller is so down into the grind of the day-to-day of paying bills that they can't, when you need someone that can look at overall pictures and come up with strategies, a controller is going to report the past and process the now. But a CFO is somebody that can see into the future. And I've never thought about that, so I'm really amazed how those words came out of my mouth right then because it's true.
You're super smart.
God made my brain work fast right then. I don't, in any of my companies, I think. And I put people in, I don't put them in place. They put themselves in places, you know, by what their talents. And then we talk about what we want to do. All right, what I want to do. And then I just start the conversation.
Right.
Okay, what if we did that? And then people, because they want to contribute, they want to look good. They want to, and I know the difference. Back in long time ago, I had a boss, and I was controller for 3 corporations back before I got my CPA, and I was being naive and immature. I wanted a title, and he basically every time I've been real successful, I got the big head, I get cut off at my knees, get back up. That he said, all right, you have a choice. Life's about choices. Do you want the title or the money? And I picked the money.
Please always pick the money.
All right. So then I become and work myself up in a CPA firm. I owned as much as one of the men's CPAs. They won't put my name on the door, even though both their names are on the door. They said, why should we do that? So I said, so you're asking me to choose the money or the title? Well, you're not even asking me, you're not giving me a choice.
Right.
I said, I'll take the money. So I sucked it up, never said another word about it. And then I left open my own 14 years later.
Yeah. See that
10 years later.
That story is attractive to me because
It's
I am
sexy hot now.
I'm a firm believer that if I have to beg you for what I deserve, then you don't deserve
I'm begging
me.
you. I'm not begging you.
You
I'm
don't
gonna do it
deserve me.
myself.
If it's not your idea, if you don't look at it and say, you know what, this is what she's supposed to have because she's earned it, I'm not going to beg you for anything. I don't want it.
So bringing it back to the CFO thing.
Right.
All right. You have an idea and you throw it out there, see if it sticks.
Okay.
The team members, you watch and listen to your team members because they're going to tell you how to put it in place. Right. I don't have to figure every little thing out. Right. That's not my talent. Right. And so when you bring that together, I don't care whether it's at Payroll Vault, Marine Exhaust, or Coast Diagnostics, or DocRx, or any of the companies that I CFO for. I don't care where they are, that those team members make it so much fun that if you throw something out there and they catch it, they start throwing things back at you. Right. That's just fun.
Right.
Plus, it looks like I have an appreciation for initials behind my name. I don't know.
I like letters. As you know, I'm a firm fan of letters. I like them a lot. So from what I gather from what you just stated is that a CFO position is a strategy type position. You are a thinker, you are a collaborator, you bring everything together and are able to look at it from a very high level and to help the organization to set themselves up so they can do the things that need to be done. But it's not the person that's in the middle of the grind, correct?
It's not in the grind. It's also being able to show profitability of why something will work.
Right.
It's the financial strategy because you have the CEO and you have a COO.
Correct.
That's operations, and CEO's the big boy. How come it's okay to say big boy but not big woman? Yeah, how come it's okay? I'm a big girl. I'm a big grandma.
You're not a big...
No, you know what Cooper said? He turns 5 today. Happy birthday, Cooper. I know
Happy
this show will come out
birthday,
later. He said, "You so soft and squishy, yaya." Couldn't do nothing but hug that little thing. So, yeah, the CEO is the head honcho, but even CEOs are not necessarily get the numbers,
Right.
even though they're highly intelligent and they're
Right.
usually visionaries.
Right.
And having somebody that can understand the numbers is the CFO.
Right.
Operations is more processes
And people. Right.
and that kind of thing. And so, but if you're not working, if those are pitting against each other in any way, none of it's going to work.
Right. And that's always my argument. I'd make a firm argument about not over-titling people out of their capacity.
Yes, I had that conversation with somebody last week.
It drives me nuts, and I think it's unfair to other companies. So let's say, for example,
It sets them up for failure.
Well, it does. So let's say, for example, there's a company and you've got 35 employees and you have a person that, that does your human resources, and you say, I'm going to make you Chief Human Resources Officer because it's a fancy title. I'm going to pay you $40,000. And so the person is with the company, and then it's very difficult for that person to go after an HR generalist position the next time or an HR manager position next time. They're looking for another position, a VP of HR.
What are you, a bank? I asked somebody, I said, are you a bank?
Right.
And he said, what are you talking about? I said, you're making everybody a vice president of something. Vice president of number 2 pencils that sit on the bank teller's desk. I don't know.
Do not start.
Vice president of those things, envelope thingies that people put the cash in.
It's not fair to the employee who thinks that the role that they're in is the entirety
makes
of that
the role
function
meaningless.
It does make the role meaningless, and it's also unfair to the next organization that they go to, because that organization believes that they walk in the door with a certain level of skill
and they
that
don't have
they
it.
do not have it, and it's an unfair. It's business owners. It is unkind. It is unkind to get someone outside of their title that much. But I do have another Aunt Karen question.
All right.
Okay. How does a business know when financially they're looking at their numbers and they're looking at what's going on? How do they know it's time to shut the door and walk away?
When they don't have any more money to put in it.
You can continue to pay for a groomer to brush a dead horse that's laying on the ground. I mean, how do you know that, you know what, this is
until the
enough?
skin comes off and pulls up with it and it stinks. I mean, how much money are you willing to put in to keep doing it the same way with the same results?
Right.
All right, that really is. I have one that's not quite profitable, but I keep making sure it's an operation. Yeah. But I have plans with it. Right. And where is your comfort level as far as pulling the plug?
Right.
Okay, it's different for different people. There are different strategies. There are different reasons you may keep one open, but if it were a different one, you would automatically close it.
Right.
But basically, it's the comfort of your checkbook.
Right.
Because banks aren't going to give you money for a failing business.
Right.
They're going to ask for tax returns. They're going to ask for financial statements. Investors, I'm going to get a venture capitalist. Yeah, good luck with that when your business sucks. Why does it suck? Because you won't do things a different way. You won't get back up and look at it from a different angle. It all keeps coming back. Back when I was a CPA and I had 400 businesses that I was helping with, that to do stuff after the fact doesn't matter.
Right.
That's why I hate tax returns. All you're doing is repeating what happened last year. But if you use that data to see where and use KPIs, key performance indicators, and look for indicators. I love indicators because that's going to set your pattern.
Right.
So if you go, it's just too busy, I can't see anything. Process of elimination. Take out what you know that works. What pile of crap, we're back to shoveling shit again. What pile of crap is left in the middle that is not working? Stop doing it.
Right.
Or find a different way to do it. And that's why I love outsourcing, because people sometimes, a new broom always sweeps clean.
It does.
Patrick Webb said that to me. God, it was years ago, 1990, some year. He said that to me, a new broom always sweeps clean, and it does. An outside person looking in will always see something you don't.
Right.
Gee, I'm going to let you sum the show up, because we had a great conversation.
We did have a great conversation. So I think the key points that really jumped out for me for this particular episode is, one, when making a decision on the viability of a business, you need to have somebody that's willing to actually take a look at the stuff that everybody is ignoring.
And tell you the truth and not
tell
what you want to hear.
The truth. Whether you're making a decision to start something new, to look at the viability, whether to look if you need to close it, just to actually look at it with fresh eyes and and be honest about where you are. We also talked about positions and titles, and to be fair to your people, and understanding the role of what a CFO is, or any chief position, that when you put a C in front of it, that's a strategy position. And it's somebody that needs to be able to look at the health as a whole. And the last thing that I really got from our conversation today is reinvention. Reinvention is so important. And if you're not listening to the market and you're not listening to your clients, I mean, what's the point? Give the people what they need, not what you were trying to force them to have. I think putting your ear to the ground is the best way to make sure that your business is viable.
You can churn that butter all day long, but anybody's going to buy it.
That's right.
All right. Well, Gia Wiggins, cheers to you for co-hosting today and getting outside the normal conversation of having a topic and just having a conversation, which I always enjoy with you. So, Gia, what's your cheers for the week?
My cheers for the week.
You can't do it to me.
Okay.
You did that on the last show.
Okay. Cheers to all of those entrepreneurs out there that are making it happen, that are going outside of the norm and doing stuff that scares you to death.
Isn't it fun?
And you're taking chances and you're doing stuff that is going to help the community and help your customers. So cheers to you. I see you, I recognize you, and I give you a very vivacious cheers today.
And when you stumble, get back up.
Get back up.
And if you enjoyed the show today, please go and rate us, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere you get your podcast. Share it with a friend. Please subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Please be sure to subscribe to Cheers to Business podcast on iTunes or anywhere else that you get your podcast. Visit our Facebook and be sure to give us a like. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to discuss, shoot us an email from the website cheerstobusiness.com.